Welcome home to St. Anne's.
Oh, Jesus just does not know how to go to church.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.
Everybody be like, Jesus, why are you alienating everybody? All right, so let's talk about what Jesus has to say. Because, my gosh, nobody wants to hear that. Who here is like, Meg, I will give you all my possessions today. Sign them all over. And we're going to have our little commune, our little St. Anne's commune. It's fine. We got a garden. We got some bees. We'll be able to live just fine. We got enough land. We'll be fine. Just bring a tent. It's about to get cold here in Missouri. All right. Let's talk about it. So the story goes a little bit like this. Jesus is wandering along, and I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but Jesus is starting to collect a lot of followers, right? Now, something that people don't talk about nowadays because it just doesn't fit our image of Jesus is very charismatic, he's funny, and bro can make wine out of water, okay? Do you understand why everybody wants to be friends with Jesus? I want to be friends with Jesus right now, okay? So Jesus is starting to collect a lot of followers. A lot of people are coming because it's like a fraternity, okay? Hanging out with Jesus is like being a frat bro. There's lots of good parties. Jesus is funny. He's charismatic. He's a good time. He's witty. And it's a lot of fun because you just like travel around having a good time. And so everyone just keeps coming along. And Jesus was looking like, where are all these people coming from? I don't think they've been listening to what I've been saying. They've been enjoying all the water into wine stuff and all the miracle stuff and all the healing stuff, but I don't think they're like listening to what I'm saying. So do you understand why Jesus is annoyed? Jesus is annoyed, okay? And sometimes when we get annoyed, and I know I've used the example before of like, you yell at your kids, I'm going to pull this car over, and you're going to walk home, right? My kids have never walked home. I've never walked home. I ain't going to do it because it sounds miserable. But Jesus every once in a while loses his cool, and that's important to know, okay? Jesus is not a relaxed, anything goes kind of bro, okay? I've said bro like 3 times. I need to stop. Somebody be like, no more with the bro, Meg. It's because I hang out with middle schoolers all week. Yeah. You know, everyone who hangs out with middle schoolers like, yeah. They say bro a lot. And it's not even gendered. Like, bro is just like an ungendered thing. Anyway, where was I? We're wandering. I'm moving. Okay, anyway, it's crazy. Jesus is annoyed. Yes. Y'all are annoyed. You're like, Meg, get it together. I'm not going to get it together for a really long time. Not today. Definitely not tomorrow. I don't know. It's not in the foreseeable future. Jesus is annoyed because these people are like, well, we're having a great time. And so finally he's like, y'all, you don't get it. And so he kind of wails on them for a second, right? He's like, you don't get it. You think this is all about you. You think that following me is going to make you feel good. It's going to make you a better person. I follow Unity online. This is not me trashing Unity. But Unity is all about feel good, right? If we just do religion the right way, if we pray the right way, it's all going to be good for us. It's going to be great. And you know, all the churches out there, like, if you come to my church, it's going to be awesome. There are pizza parties for the kids, and there's small groups for all y'all. You're going to make some friends, and we got the best this, we got the best that, and we got this band. Don't even start with me with the bands. I ain't going to do it. And if you ever noticed, it's like everything else. Like, we act like churches of McDonald's or like anything else. We're just selling it all the time. And this is what makes Jesus mad. He's like, you think you're following along because it's going to make you feel good, because it's going to be fun. It's going to make you popular. It's a good time. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about them. It's not about us. It's not about any of that. It is about God. And I am here to tell you, when you change your focus from self to God, you're going to give some things up. Sometimes it's not going to be fun. Now, it's not going to be like horrible. I don't mean this to be like, oh, you should never have fun in church. Church is terrible, because that really doesn't preach well. But it's about changing our focus. It's about changing where we're looking and where we're going and the things that we are directed towards. Because we are naturally navel gazers, right? It's like, oh, I got a belly button. Have you seen it? I've got a belly button. And that is how we are as humans. We are very internally focused. Very. So much so that like we can not notice anything else around us. And I'm not going to, gosh, I sound like an old person who's like, oh, kids these days. That is not what I mean. Humans have always been that way. But we've gotten really, really good at marketing it and making it okay. Like the whole self-care movement is not really about self-care, is it? It's about selling you stuff. Because self-care is about setting up boundaries and being appropriate. And self-care doesn't always feel good, does it? But we've convinced everybody that it's about wine, bubble baths, chocolate, and cars that warm your butt in the winter. Like, that is what self-care is. It's a new marketing thing, right? And so Jesus is saying to us, if you're doing this right, it's not going to feel good all the time. And you've got to be okay with the fact that it is not inwardly focused. We're going in a direction that sometimes you're not going to enjoy. And sometimes it's not going to feel good. In fact, sometimes it's going to hurt a lot. And there's going to be a lot of loss potentially. And you know what? You could die. That's not a good way to grow a church. There's a reason Jesus isn't a church planter. Okay? Because I drive by, in fact, I literally had this conversation with my husband the other day. We're driving by a mega church here in Lee Summit, and I was like, there's not even a cross on here. There's literally nothing that says anything about this being a Christian organization. Like, the names are just like some feel-good marketing thing, like, oh, the feel-good, joyous gathering of humans in Lee Summit. And it looks like an office building. You're like, what are you doing? But they've got a coffee shop in it. Now, and I'm going to be honest, like, I'm a coffee drinker. That's a pretty easy sell for me. Okay? And that is what all these people are following Jesus expecting. The awesome, joyous gathering of humans with Jesus. And they're going to go around. And we are drawn to that, okay? There is nothing wrong with being drawn to that. There is a lot wrong with thinking that's what this is. There is a lot wrong with thinking that our human existence is about our belly button and making our belly feel good. There is a lot wrong with that. There's a lot wrong with thinking that our entire existence is driven by marketing. Because it's easy to get sucked into that, isn't it? Anyone else ever feel stressed and you think, and I acknowledge this, you think that the thing that's going to make you feel good is to go buy something. I'm convinced 100% that if I do any hard thing in the world, it warrants a $6 iced coffee. I'm convinced. 100%. We get sucked into this. And the good news is it's been like this forever. The bad news is it's been like this forever. And it's become so natural to us that thinking it's any other way seems ridiculous. If I say these words outside these walls, I will get beat up. I will be told I'm a bad American, I'm a bad mom, I'm a bad everything, because it should be about consumption, right? Being a good parent is about providing for your children all the things that you didn't have and that they could possibly imagine that they want or need. Most of which you're going to throw away. Okay? They think the Happy Meal is going to make them happy. And you think if you give them the happy meal, you're a good human. Right? We do. We think being a good human is about consumption, destruction. That is what we think. Being a good male is about destroying things. It is. Big trucks, beating up other dudes, drinking big beers. Being a woman is about consuming things, getting rid of your wrinkles, and looking a certain way that you're never going to look, by the way, because no human does. We have been convinced that being a good human is about consumption and making other people think that we feel good about it. Friends, we lost it. We lost it somewhere along the way. And it's a hard sell when Jesus says, that's not what this is about. Consumption will not make you feel better because we are focused this way. And we were never called to be focused that way. We have always, since the beginning of creation, been meant to be focused towards God. We are God's, and belonging to God is not just a comforting thing, it's a hard thing. You and I don't belong to ourselves. We don't. We never have. We belong to God, and that means that we are God-focused. So the question today is, who or what are we willing to be or give up for the gospel? Because sometimes it's not going to feel good. Sometimes it's not. And I'm not here to tell you give up all your possessions, start giving 10% to the church. But I am here to say it was never about you. It was never about me. It was never about any of this. We have been suckered into something that isn't true. Do you know money is a human concept? It doesn't exist. But we think it does, and we live for it. We kill for it. We do all sorts of things for something that's not even real. We're all 48 hours from that money that you carry, that you think is on your credit card, to that ceasing to exist. It's a myth. We live for myths. Gosh, that's hard to hear, isn't it? I live for myths. I work multiple jobs for something that's not true. Hopefully, I live an entire existence for loving humans and for something that is true. And all that stuff is about pushing towards that goal. So I'm not here to tell you that we're going to live in a commune. I'm here, though it would be fun. I mean, can we, do you know how much fun we would have if we gave everything up and we just hung out here? It would be great. We've got people who can do all sorts of fun things. We got good cooks. We got wine growers. This is an amazing church to live a commune with. But we're not going to do that. So much fun is this. My gosh, hanging out with you all week would be so much better than 11-year-olds. Anyway, I'd say bro a lot less. But I am saying that all those things should be focused, directed towards God and God's creation. Loving God and loving God's creation. Can we change the lens in which we look? Can we change our focus? It doesn't mean that we have to change what we've been doing, but it does mean that we change where we're looking and where we're going and how we're seeing things. I invite you today, change your lens. And hopefully it is a cross-shaped lens. But if not,
we want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.